Hello, everyone. I am Yolanda Harper, and I am here with Alina Klein.
Hi, everyone.
And we're here coming live from the offices in Harper Therapy in Lutz. Kind of matching.
Yeah,
with
we
our
did
shirts.
not plan this, but we are matching Tuesday, so.
It is.
And we also matched last week, so I don't
We
know what
did.
is going on.
I don't know. Something in the air.
Yeah.
Something in the air. We're like
Jiving.
That's right. That's right. It's good to jive.
Right.
So we have been working really hard behind the scenes.
Yes.
For something really special and something really important.
Yes.
We know through COVID, especially, like, addiction is an issue all the time. It's really been turned up for a lot of people through COVID, and there are so many family members who are watching their loved ones spiral.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, with COVID, it's really, there's been ways that people have been able to connect outside of just the normal, like, face-to-face. Like, we found more connection through online stuff, but connection is so essential for people and mental health, including addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Not having that ability to connect really causes people to kind of get more into whatever is going on, whether it be drugs, alcohol, any type of addictive behavior. So, I think this lack of connection has been really, really
it has.
impactful.
We as mental health providers have kind of seen this avalanche coming of mental health concerns.
Yep.
And we're definitely seeing kind of the fallout of that now.
Yes.
Increased anxiety, increased depression, increased substance use, all of those things, increased isolation because we just don't have access to the same coping strategies that we have had in the past.
Exactly.
So that said, we have been working really hard on creating a group for family members who have loved ones who are active in their addiction or early in the recovery. And one of the things that isn't talked about in the world of addiction and for family members is the grief that goes along with having someone that you love in addiction.
Right. So you think about grief, right? Most of us think about grief as losing a person, right, to death, or losing a relationship, losing a job. It's more connected with loss. We don't always think of grief as losing an idea or an image or a dream of something. So especially with people who struggle with addiction, or if you love someone who struggles with addiction, we have to let go of this idea of who we thought this person was going to be and our expectations of what it was going to look like. Maybe our relationship with them, maybe where we thought they were going to be in their lives, where we thought we were going to be in our lives with them. There's a lot of grief associated with letting go of this image of what it's supposed to look like.
What the relationship is going to be, for
right.
sure. Yeah.
Right.
And the interesting thing about grief is so tough because it's just there.
Yeah.
It's just there. And there are different stages of grief: shock, denial, anger, bargaining, all of these things.
Yeah.
And it's not a linear path.
Right.
It's not like you walk this linear path and then, I've reached the completion of the grief. It can be spurred and churned up by so many different things, right? A different depth of your loved one's, addiction and use.
A triggering event.
A triggering event, right? Seeing a post on social media of how someone else's family looks so much different than yours.
Comparing.
Can really bring up this feeling of loss and grief.
And Yolanda just said it's a feeling, right? And many times we don't acknowledge our feelings, right? And we have a hard time really allowing ourselves to be upset or be sad or be angry, right? Because we feel guilty about it, or we judge ourselves like, I shouldn't be feeling this way.
Yeah. And I think especially with grief, our society doesn't do grief well. And so there's a big glossing over it, right? And it's painful. And so a lot of us just want to turn away from the pain, right?
Yeah.
So our group, this group, helps you to build skills for working through things like grief, the anger, the anxiety, the fear of the unknown, like all of the things, the shame that goes along. But the thing that we don't talk about a lot is the grief that goes along with your loved one's addiction.
Right. And what this group provides is a forum for you to discuss it with other people and know that you're not alone with it. I think we say this every time we're talking about this group, one of the most healing parts is knowing that you're not alone. And I think because people don't talk about grief, they feel very isolated in it, and it makes it that much harder to cope with.
Yeah, it actually keeps you more stuck in the grief than you would otherwise. So
Right.
the group is helpful for giving you a skill set to navigate through the grief, in a community to help support you through it.
Yeah, and one thing I just want to make sure everyone knows too is like we're not telling you to just sit here in a dark room all day and feel your grief. You know, grief it ebbs and flows like any other feeling. And, you know, again, if you don't deal with it and you don't take that time or that space or this group, it's not going anywhere.
Right. It's helping you with a process to work through the grief, because
Right.
otherwise you're going to stay stuck in it whether
Right.
you recognize it.
And
or
it's going
not.
to come out in other ways in other relationships. So, you know, we really want to just give you all the tools to be able to manage, work through the emotions so it doesn't have to keep, you know, it's like kind of like that, your shadow, it goes with you wherever you are, you know? So we want to help work through those things.
So the group is Rising Strong for families of addicted loved ones, and it is giving you this process to help rise out of the grief and all of the other things that happen. So check it out. The group starts in April. Virtually, Elena will be facilitating that, and then we'll be starting another one in person shortly thereafter. Share this information with someone. Share it broadly on your social media, because you know what? There are so many families that are suffering right now, and we want to be able to help. So check out the link,
Yeah, I hope to see some of you there.
and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Have a good one.